This message is on Revelation chapter 6. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were, the noise of thunder. One of the four beasts saying, "Come and see." And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. The white horse here should not be mistaken for the white horse in Revelation 19. For Jesus is in Revelation 19, but he does not come through to conquer. Verse 3. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, "Come and see." And there went out another horse that was red. Red is the color of bloodshed. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. So this horse symbolizes war. Verse 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine." By the way, the black horse represents famine. Verse 7. Another thing on verse 6. It says, "See thou hurt not the oil or the wine." That means that God's people are going to be protected in this. Verse 7. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, "Come and see." And I looked, and behold, a pale horse. The Greek word for pale here is koloros, which means pale green. It's like a yellowish green color. Some have said the reason for this is because it's the color of the corpse. Others have said that it symbolizes Islam. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. The Greek word for hell here is Hades. Hades means underworld or grave. There are 4 words that are in the Bible that have been translated to mean hell. Sheol is Hebrew for grave or pit. Hades, which is Greek for underworld or grave. Gehenna, which is a garbage dump that they had outside of Jerusalem. it would burn, the fire would not go out. People offered their babies in that fire. They offered it to Moloch, which is parallel to abortion. You see today a lot of babies being killed. The maggot never died, and it stank. And Jesus used graphic descriptions like this to warn people of hell. Nowadays, they have newer translations that will actually use the word Hades, where Jesus said Gehenna. People that think Hades and Gehenna are the same place are deceived. Jesus tried to warn people of hell, and he used the most graphic terms possible. But today, many do not want to preach on hell. But that is like seeing someone in a burning building and not telling them that the building that they are in is on fire. That's how bad it is not to talk about hell. The fourth word for hell is Tartaro, which is Greek for the worst part of hell. Okay, where was I? By the way, if your Bible says on the Sermon on the Mount, if it says Hades, you're reading a bad translation. And I looked and beheld a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And white robes were given unto every one of them. And it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. This is why I do not think that the rapture will happen until after the mark of the beast. I think most of the Christians will have to be killed before the rapture can take place. And then after the rapture, that's when the wrath of God hits. Verse 12. And behold, when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. Joel prophesied this. You also see it written in Acts 2, where Peter speaks of it. You can also find it in Matthew 24. We'll be backtracking to that a lot, by the way. And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casts her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. The poles shifted, basically. Land became sea. Sea became land. That's what this is talking about. Those are dangerous times. Not time I won't live in. I think we'll all be gone by that time, though. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains. But I think we'll all be gone. I meant all people that believe in God will be gone by then. And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Some have said that the people were warned 120 years before the flood happened that it was going to happen. But they didn't believe it because they had heard it for years. That's what people are saying today when you warn them of the end of time. They'll say, we've heard this stuff for years. But that don't mean it's not going to happen, because it will. It just means we're closer than ever to it.